When building a startup or a product, prototyping is important. We discuss it multiple times. But actually, there are two kinds of prototypes that you need to build. One kind of prototype validates user needs. Is this what people want? Is there even a startup to build or a product to build? Or if we build something, will users react with indifference? Will it be perceived as more or less what already exists, even though we may be excited about what we are doing? And what should the exact UX be? This is one type of a prototype which validates user needs and how much complexity users are willing to tolerate. Do they want something that's simple and idiot proof or something really sophisticated, right? That is one kind. Um, the other kind is a technical feasibility validation. This is also called a prototype or a proof of concept, POC. So this is something you do in order to validate that you can do something from a technical point of view. If you're building on top of a platform, this will also validate whether the platform supports what you want. For example, if you want to build an Apple Watch app that when you tap, opens your app on the iPhone and causes it to record a video automatically. That's probably not possible because of Apple's sandboxing. iPhone apps can't open by themselves or can't be opened remotely by an Apple Watch and start recording all without any user interaction. This is an example of a platform limitation. Or it could also be a question of algorithms, right? Do we even have the algorithms to do what we are being asked to do? We may also end up with a rough time estimation as a result of building a technical prototype. We may say this will take a year to build, not a week, not a month. We can also explore UX trade-offs, such as we can do this, which will take a year, or we can do this other thing, which will take 3 months, maybe. Right? So all these discussions of time to build versus how good the result will be can be had. Alternatives can be explored. Someone can say, hey, instead of this, let's do something else which is completely unrelated. And it's a pivot of the idea, right? It's almost like you're being asked to build a car and you build a helicopter and you say, hey, this will get me to my destination faster. Why don't we explore this with an open mind instead of fixating on where we started, right? So all of these discussions, both about user needs and about technical feasibility and time and risk in the project, will be provoked by building these prototypes. There's a Star Trek episode in which they go to a planet and they find that there are cities and roads and expressways and skyscrapers and so on. So they try to contact the people on the ground and no one responds. And they're surprised. So they scan the planet and they find that there's no life on the planet and there's a high level of radiation. So they move on from that planet to another planet, right? They've had a nuclear winter and destroyed themselves. So the people on the starship, the spaceship, move on. And one of them, who's an android, asks the captain, why would any intelligent species destroy itself? And the captain is ashen faced because there's no logical answer to that. And after watching this, I realized that the purpose of this episode was to challenge ourselves on Earth right now and ask, are we doing the right thing to our planet and to ourselves? Are we really smart if we are polluting the Earth and risking nuclear war and doing all these things? So the entire episode, the fiction, the starship with the people on it and the android and so on. Android as in not the mobile OS, but a robot in human form. This entire thing was just a pretext to pose the question, as great fiction often is. Similarly, a prototype is often just a pretext to get into a conversation with a user. And you get into better conversations that way rather than by asking vague questions where you'll get vague answers. If you take a step back and think about it, there are two reasons why projects fail. One is users don't want what we built, the other is we can't build what they want. And these map well to the two types of prototypes we built, the user needs validation prototype and the technical validation prototype. It's all about validation, which in turn gives you risk mitigation. And every project should start with a sub project whose goal is to de risk the rest of the project. If you'd like me to work with your company on this, there's a link in the description. Thank you.